A very good evening, everyone. So we are back again with our new session, which is variations of trial balance. So in addition to the standard trial balance format, we have so much more to add with the report variations. To know more, we'll be elaborating our session today. So let's begin with our today's session, which is on trial balance. In addition to the standard trial balance format, we have so much more to add with the report variations, which we'll be following today. So a trial balance is a financial report showing the closing balances of all the accounts in the general ledger at a point in time. Creating a trial balance is the first step in closing the books at the end of the accounting year. So we are aware of the term of trial balance, and we particularly know how our trial balance looks. So let's begin with, so in our financial model, the trial balance navigation is such, we just need to click on reports, then click on management reports, and there comes the trial balance. And once you click on trial balance, you will be getting a screen like this, which is by default selected as ledger group details. So let's log in into the financial module and begin with the live data. So we'll go to reports, accounts, management reports, and trial balance. So by default, as I showed, it will be reflecting as ledger group details, and by default an year's date is already selected over here, and we will just click on search over here. So the data will be reflecting such, which we can just drill down all the data. We can just click on the master check against the ledger name, and automatically all the ledgers under those ledger groups will be reflecting over here, which we can validate as per our requirements. And if you don't want to open up all the ledger groups over here, and if you want to just individually check on the ledgers, you can just simply click over here and you can click on shift enter. All the ledgers against that particular ledger group will be reflecting as per the hierarchy set in the financial module. So there are multiple options over here, multiple export options, which you can just use the Excel or the Excel pivot structure level wise. Now level wise is something, for example, if you're having a particular hierarchy, like for example, if I go for the capital, under capital, there is a ledger group of reserve and surplus, and then comes the retained earnings, then comes the opening profit and loss. Now, these are the levels. This is level 1, this is level 2, this is level 3. If you want to export the data with the level wise, and if you want to export the data of only first level or till second level, then your Excel will get extracted accordingly. And the same goes for the PDF level wise and the PDF options. Also, you have a bulk print option, which is available at the time of with details and without details, and the browser print. So for example, let's check the Excel option over here. So our Excel got downloaded. Let's open it and check how does it looks like. So this is the trial balance, which is reflecting over here. The data, which is reflecting on your user interface or in front of your screen. Exactly, it will come up and sit like this. And let's now check. I'll quickly close this, and let's now check how does the level wise part reflects. And let's click on the level wise as one, and let's export our data. So now over here, as I said, it will generate the Excel as per the level. So over here, the level 1, if I select it, so no ledgers under that, any particular ledger group will be reflecting. By default, all the initial or the major ledger groups data will be reflecting as a consolidated part. So as I showed you, under capital, I had reserves and surplus, then retained earnings, and then profit and loss. So now let's check with level as 2. So let's remove as 1 and click on 2, and then click on the Excel level wise. So this is the Excel level wise coming up over here. I'll enable data. Let's check how our data is. So this was level 1, which was capital, and under the capital, it comes a reserve and surplus. So accordingly, my data showed the data under capital, then reserve and surplus, and it is not reflecting any details about the retained earnings part. Although it will show you the consolidated opening balance, debit, credit, closing balance with respect to the entries, because at the end of the day, the consolidated value or the figure will be reflecting in your report. But at any given point of time, you can view your reports as per the level, and you can simply select the levels over here. And in your PDF level wise, I mean, if you want to extract the PDF instead of the Excel, you can always go this way. So these are the major Excels or the PDF options which you can explore as and when required as per your requirement. So moving again to the next option. So if you click on your left drop down option, you have so many options appearing over here. So by default, if you click on your trial balance report, automatically you get an option of ledger group details, but you do have the option of ledger group where you do not want to view the report on a detail level. You just want to view the report at a very hierarchy level of the ledger group wise. So let's check how does it reflects. And if I click on search, so this is an as-on data. It will give you the exact data of what is debit and what is credit. No opening balances or no closing balances will be reflecting over here. So as per your requirement, you can view this report as well. So in all your trial balances reports, you do have an option of drill downs, which is like if you click on the over, there will be a link or a hyperlink. If you click over here, automatically it will redirect you to the ledger report, which is our regular ledger report, and it will show you all the balances or the opening balances, all the entries to justify your data reflecting in your trial balance. So this was about the ledger group. Again, coming up to the Excel part, you do have an option of Excel pivot structure, PDF, bulk PDF with details, without details, and the browser print. So you can always have the options of Excel and Excel pivot. So in case if the data is huge, if you don't want to run the data on your screen, if you simply want to just click on the export, whether the data will get exported or not, yes, your data will get exported. For example, if I just refresh the screen and click as ledger group, I don't want to search the data on my screen. I will simply click on the Excel or Excel pivot structure, whichever export I want. Automatically the data will reflect on your Excel itself. So it's not a compulsion that you have to run the data on your screen. You can simply click search the date range and you can simply click to just download your Excel file. So coming up to the third option, which is ledger. And again, this ledger part is also based on as on date over here. And over here, the data will be reflecting ledger wise, because previously we were having the report as per the ledger group and the ledger group detail wise. Over here, we will be having the data exact as per the ledger wise in which we have updated the entry. So there will no ledger groups will be reflecting over here. So as you can see, all these data are reflecting ledger wise. And if I want to have a quick check on how or what details are updated over here, I can simply click over here and automatically it gets redirected to our ledger report. And I will, if I want to view all the details without the monthly options, all details will be reflecting and it will justify the amount which is reflecting in our trial balance. So now you must be finding one options of this settings icon, or you can say a CC breakup icon. So for all our income or expenses ledgers, or whichever ledgers where the cost center is enabled in our ledger master, as well as if we have updated the cost center correctly in our entries while posting our entries, you can always view the CC breakup from the trial balance report itself. So if you click over here, you will be having all the details reflecting. So it's not reflecting over here because it can happen that you have updated or enabled the cost center after booking the entries in your books of accounts. So if you have booked the entries in your books of accounts and then enable the cost centers are not recorded over here. So for example, let's record a few cost centers over here. and check how does our report reflects. We'll click on create, we'll click on submit. And then we will click on, for example, if I just escape, I'll click on search. And then we'll be scrolling down to electricity charges. So it's just alphabetically rearranged over here so that we can easily find or track our ledger which we are searching. So this was the cost center which I updated. It will be reflecting all the details over here as a CC breakup as and when it is recorded in our entries. So this option is there. You will be finding this option in 1 or 2 more reports. So coming up to the 4th report, which is ledger details. So we talked about ledger group details, then we talked about ledger group, then we talked about ledger. Now we'll be talking about ledger details. So as soon as I clicked on the ledger details option, automatically my from and to date range got activated. Till now we were having till date ka range over here, but now I'm having a from and to date range option also over here. Now let's click on the search icon and check what data is reflecting over here. So now over here, I am finding the opening balances coming up, and we are finding the closing balances coming up, and all the data are exactly as per the ledgers. No ledger group hierarchy is reflecting over here. So this report will be having a detailed information as per the ledger with your opening balance and closing balance as per the date range, which is selected or as from and to. And if we click, all the details will be reflecting over here. So do we have any export option over here? Yes, we do have an export option, which is like Excel pivot structure and PDF. So let's check this time. How does a PDF looks like? So it will be exactly the way it is representing on your screen on your UI. So let's move ahead with the 5th option, which is with cost center. Now, if the cost center is enabled in your books of accounts, and if you're recording cost centers correctly and you want to view the trial balance via a single cost center, or as per one particular cost center, you want to view all the debit and credit, opening balances, closing balance, you can always have a look via the option of with cost center. Now over here, just now in front of you, I updated one entry with the cost center of employee. So let's check how the report looks like. If I click on search, it will give me in a trial balance format, it is going to reflect the data, which if I clicked on the master check of on my left side, all the details will be reflecting over here. What was the opening balance, what was debited, what was credited, and at the end of the year, what is my closing balance as per this particular cost center, which we are tracking in our transactions field. So do we have an export option over here? Yes, we do have an export option of Excel and PDF and the normal browser print over here. Then coming up to our next option, which is tag ledger. Okay, let's check how does our tag ledger reflects. So if you have tagged multiple ledgers, I mean, if you have created a tag group and a tag, and then you have assigned those tags to particular ledger groups or ledgers, the data or the trial balance will be reflecting as per your created tag. So over here, I have selected the option or the tag name as fund position, and I had assigned few of these tags to few of my entries or few of my ledger or ledger groups. So my report will be reflecting this way. So let's check in case if I want to update or create or delete any tags from here itself, am I allowed to do? Yes, I am allowed to do. So let's check how are we supposed to do it. So we do have an option of tag ledger over here. So if we click on the tag ledger, automatically all the details will be reflecting over here. So let's see if we have around probably if we coming on fixed assets, and if I update it as fund position, and then again, if I'm updating it as fund position, either I do it this way or the entirely fixed assets part, if I want to update it as fund position, automatically all the ledgers under the fund position, under the fixed assets part will get updated or will get tagged with the tag ledger of fund position. And if I click on save tag, the data will get saved successfully. And if I reload my report, automatically the data will reflect the way I want it to reflect. So this was all about the tag ledger trial balance report. So we do have one more trial balance which reflects in our tag report. This that particular ledger I will be showing in our next session. So once we tag all our ledgers or ledger groups, automatically we can view the trial balance report as per what we have assigned tagged in the entries and the ledgers or ledger group. So we do have an option of export of Excel over here. So moving ahead, we do have, okay, we now come on to the next option as tagged report. Let's click over here. Again, we'll be searching the option as fund position and click on search. So whatever ledgers which was assigned with the tag of fund position, only those details will be reflecting over here. So in my previous option, which was the option of tag ledger, over there, I just assigned, okay, so and so tags needs to be assigned. So accordingly, I just assigned those tags over here, there. And now if I want to see the trial balance report for the tagged report or the tag which I assigned for those particular ledgers or ledger groups, it will be reflecting those data over here. So do we have an option of Excel over here? Yes, we do have. So you can always view the Excel of this particular report as well. So it will be reflecting exactly the way it is reflecting on the screen. So coming up to our next report, it's a monthly columnar report. Okay. So now I want to have a very detailed differentiation between 2 months or probably 3 months of a trial balance report, that what was my debit, credit, opening balance, closing balance, all sorts of those details. If I want to view, I can just simply click on select month as from April 22 to probably over here, I'll be using 3 months data. So if I click on April, from April to June and click, my data will be reflecting for April, May, and June on my screen, as well as we do have an option of export of this report as well. So it's taking time since the data is huge. In case if there is a huge data in or the huge transactions are done in the RealBooks, it's requested, then you can just simply click or select the months over here and you can simply export the Excel so that you can have that detailed clarification or the differentiation between the months part. So over here, as you can see on your screen, all the ledgers are reflecting with all these details having an opening balances and then whatever data was updated in the month of April, May, June, and then accordingly closing balances is reflecting on your screen. So for example, if I click on the current assets part, all these details will be reflecting on your screen. And then you can have a detailed differentiation that what was the amount which was updated as a net in the month of April, then May, then June, and then comes the closing balance to justify my opening and closing figure. Coming up next, okay, before going to the next option, we will just check how does our Excel export looks like. So it will show you the exact data which is reflecting on your screen. So you can always have a differentiation, or if you want to download the Excel right from April 22 to March 23, say, then you can just get all the details in your Excel format in one go. So you can always use this particular part over here. Then coming up to our next option, it's like segment wise column now. In case if you are using multiple segments in your company, then you would always wish to view the report segment wise and month wise as well. So for example, if I'm selecting the option as Bhawanipur, or probably I will be selecting one more option of Kolkata. And let's check if I want to have a detailed view or report detailings for the month of November. Then if I'll click on search, the data will get loaded, and accordingly, I can always have the Excel export option over there. So, okay, here. So I have selected two segments over here. So Bhawanipur, all my debit and credit and closing is reflecting. Then comes the Kolkata branch ka opening, debit and credit and closing. Then comes the total of Bhawanipur and Kolkata segment. So you can, if you want to view the trial balance for only two branches for a month, you can always use this particular option so that you can have an overview or the differentiation of the amounts which is reflecting there. So this report will help you in the detailed information part. Again, you have an Excel export option as well as you have the Excel level wise option, the one which we discussed at the beginning of the session. Then coming up to the last but not the least, the yearly columnar part. So the moment if we are clicking on the yearly columnar part over here, and we are selecting the month of April 22 to May 22, automatically my previous year comparison is picked up by system as April 21 to May 21, that it will differentiate the data between what we had booked the entries as per April 21 and May 21 and what is the amount which is booked in this or this year, April 22 to May 22. So let's check. We'll just hit on search. And our data will be reflecting over here. So over here, this would be the current year's data, which is April 22 to May 22. And this would be our previous year data, which is for April 21 to May 21. And we can have a quick overview. Okay. So we always have an option of Excel as well over here. If you want to view for the entire financial year, then obviously you can just export the data. You can select the date range and you can simply export the data instead of running the same on your screen. So this is your trial balance last report. So let's move ahead with the other part. So we had discussed about the trial balance report, yearly columnar report. So this was the report which we discussed right now. And we do have our Excel options for each and every report. So you can always have an overlook of the reports which is there in our RealBooks. You can always come back to us in case if you have any suggestion or clarity is required with respect to the trial balance report discussed today. So we'll have a quick recap of what we discussed today. So let's check. So first we explain or we discuss about the navigation, that where the trial balance is located in RealBooks. It is from reports, then comes management reports, then comes trial balance. Then we will be having a default option of ledger group details where we are having a multiple export option, which is Excel, Excel pivot structure, Excel level wise, PDF, PDF level wise, bulk print with details, without details, and the browser print. Then comes the option of ledger group towards my left. Then you will be having an option of Excel, Excel pivot structure, PDF, bulk print with details, without details, and the browser print. Then comes the next report, which is ledger wise report, where we discuss, we also had a cost center option over here. And over here, we do have an export option of Excel, Excel pivot structure, PDF, and browser print. So as we discussed, we did have an option of cost center breakup over there in our ledger section. So the CC breakup details can be viewed from here. Next option was of ledger details, where we did had an option of Excel export, Excel pivot structure, PDF, and browser print. Again, we did have the CC breakup option in our ledger details trial balance report as well. Where we can have a detailed information of whatever cost center was tracked. And then comes the report with cost center where we can just search for one particular cost center. In case if the employees or multiple employees are getting recorded in the cost center via updating the transaction, you can have an overview of what debit or what amount has been debited or credited or what opening balance or all details transaction in one go as per a specific cost center that can be reflecting over here. So again, we do have an option of export of Excel and PDF and browser print in this report as well. Then comes the option of tag ledger, where we learn how we can just update the specific tags for a particular ledger group or ledger or any particular sub ledger group. And accordingly, we can just save the tags so that in our next report of tagged report, we can use that particular tag ledger. And if we click on search, it will be reflecting the data as per the trial balance structure for a specific tag report. So we do have an option of Excel and browser print in this report as well. Next, coming up, the monthly columnar report, where we can just validate or reconcile the data as per the month selection. And then we are having the export option of Excel pivot structure, PDF, and browser print over here. Then comes the option of segment-wise columnar, where we can have a combination of month and the segments over here. And if we click on search, the data will be reflecting over here. And for our reconciliation purpose, if we want to have an Excel pivot structure, Excel level-wise PDF export, it is available in our financial module. Then comes the option of yearly columnar, where we can have a quick comparison of the data which was there as per the selected months of current year and the previous year. And for this particular report also, you are having the Excel export option. So thank you so much for joining. Hope this session helps you out for viewing the trial balance report in a more elaborated form. So for any query or any support, do reach out to us on our support number. Thank you so much for joining today's session. Thank you. Thank you all.